here to celebrate our founder, a true social innovator, Paul Polak, who's our hero, unsung, but we're going to sing his praises tonight.
Now this is my partner in my work over the last 30 years. In fact, the first project that iDE did was to build 500 donkey carts in Somalia. And that led to a number of different projects with new, radically affordable technologies that have helped 20 million people move out of poverty. And I'm really honored that this event is here today and is a start of the Social Innovation Award for further technologies and strategies that will make a big impact on the world.
2006, when Paul quasi-retired, the iDE annual budget was almost $10 million. That was remarkable because raising that early capital is really tough. But the foundation was established. And since that time, iDE has more than doubled its budget. We've opened up new programs in Mozambique and in West Africa, Ghana, Burkina Faso, and moving on. We've established iDE's, a Latin American development enterprise which seeks to establish total self-sufficiency as a wholesaling organization, earning margins on the sale of drip irrigation products. We have demonstrated phenomenal success in the arena of wash marketing. Wash is water and sanitation and power. More than 200,000 ceramic water filters sold, and more than 10,000 sanitary latrines sold using a market mechanism. We're looking now at expanded networks for the distribution of solar technologies and other household livelihood technologies like solar light. Our current vision is to go to 10 million households by the year 2020. It all started because of Paul's vision.
The people that you visit, they're the same as we are. They're just like we are. They just don't have the economic means that we have. We interview these people, and they live in a little shack, and they sell stuff, and they sell bananas, and they sell spices, and they sell food. But you can talk to these entrepreneurs, like they know their demographics, they know their markets, they know the seasonality of products. They can tell you their profit margins on every little product there. It is just like us. But look, we are here tonight to salute Paul's work with the inaugural iDE Paul Polak Award for Social Innovation, honoring the important legacy of Paul Polak, whose work has inspired 19 million people, the world's poorest people, to become entrepreneurs, increasing their income and livelihoods and bringing their families out of poverty for generations. Awarded in its first year to its namesake, this award will be presented annually to a deserving individual, social innovator, or organization that has significantly advanced design that serves the other 90%.
Oh, no, that's not it. iDE Paul Polak Award for Social Innovation. Paul Polak 2011 recipient in recognition of your vital work for humble beginnings at Asshole International. The fires and toilets at iDE, your kids made shit happen. I'm really honored to be the first recipient of this award. It's been an amazing journey, and there are so many people in the audience who have been part of that journey, and without whom none of it could have happened. I really think it's been an amazing journey, and I deeply appreciate this honor. One of the things that Bruce Lebowski said when we had lunch yesterday is that I should say a little bit about what my dream is now. And the fact is that I turned 78 2 weeks ago, and I'm still full of piss and vinegar. say just a little bit about what the dream is now. I think the greatest challenge in development is scale. IDE has had a remarkable impact reaching 20 million people, perhaps combined with organizations like Mohammed Yunus's Grameen Bank and microcredit. Well, let me say first of all that in my view, development for the most part, all the money invested in development has for the most part failed miserably. There's some notable exceptions. IDE is one of those, there are several others. But with the 20 million people IDE has helped, and with maybe another 20 million helped move out of poverty by microcredit, that's 40 million people. And compared with the 2.6 billion people in the world who live on less than $2 a day, that's a drop in the bucket. So simply said, my dream is to use some of the basic things we've learned over the past 30 years at IDE to create a revolution in big business. I think if you distill some of the basic things we've learned in IDE, I would mention 4 of them. One is the amazing power that comes from releasing the energy of markets. 2 is the power that comes from the ruthless pursuit of affordability. 3 is working at the village level. I was really touched by some of those old videos, and it reminds me of how much talking to people at the village level really means. And a corollary of that is last mile, what they call last mile distribution, but I think it really is last 500 feet distribution. And the 4th thing is scale. I think the way to reach scale is to bring big business into markets serving people who live on less than $2 a day. Not because it's morally right or because it's green, but because there are amazing virgin market profit opportunities to be gleaned there. And so one of the things that I want, my dream for the rest of my life is to help bring 500 million people out of poverty. And the way I'm starting to try to organize that is to create 4 global companies. One in each of the following areas: water, health, education, and energy. Each of those global companies are designed to bring at least 100 million people out of poverty, not by bringing them out of poverty, by helping them move out of poverty. The first one has to do with water, and David showed you some of the pictures of selling safe drinking water. What we're doing is using a radically affordable technology to purify drinking water. We're selling it to people at the village for less than 4 cents a liter. The typical family pays, less than ½ cent a liter. Typical family pays 4 cents a day. And they make money on that because a typical family pays $25 to $250 a year to treat the illnesses they get from drinking bad water, not counting the days missed at work. This company is, its mission is to reach at least 100 million of these people and make money doing it. And since there is such an endemic demand for safe drinking water all over the world in poor villages, that the income generated by the sales of water pays for the motorcycle transport to bring the water purifier to the village, and that motorcycle has extra cargo capacity that's unused. So we will, once we establish a water company, start to distribute a whole range of transformative branded income generating products for sale through small shops, Kirana shops. There's 6 million of them in India alone. Those are our partners. And we'll be distributing a whole range of transformative products. Let me give you another example. one part of the energy company that I'm working on is working on the energy issue as it affects developing countries. So energy is the engine that drives development in many countries. It certainly is an important engine here. If you take a country like India, it produces, it's the 5th leading producer of electricity in the world. 70% of the electricity it produces comes from coal. Coal, in the global picture, is responsible for 40% of carbon emissions in the world. So we desperately need, in a global context, viable alternatives to coal. What's happening recently is that there is a process used for transforming forestry byproducts like sawdust and bark through a process called torrefaction. Torrefaction is simply cooking a biological material exactly the same way that we treat coffee. It's exactly the same way we roast coffee. The torrefied product that emerges from that is something like charcoal, and briquettes of that product have this almost the same thermal energy as coal. So if this is a shaggy dog story, here's the punchline. You can make torrefied briquettes from forestry byproducts, and there is a rapidly thriving new industry. There are 10 to 20 torrefaction plants ranging in cost from $10 to $40 million being built right now just in Canada. And they're supplying the market in Europe for co-burning with coal and reducing the carbon emissions. Now, if you look at the global picture, there are 4 billion tons of agricultural waste produced every year. 4 billion tons. That's a little bit less than the total coal burn in the year, every year, which is 6 billion tons. It's possible to apply the same simple process of torrefaction to rice straw or to peanut shells or to coconut shells. But nobody has figured out how to do it at the village. I formed a company. I'm working with one of the top torrefaction experts from Canada. We're going to design a radically affordable village-based torrefaction plant. We'll create thousands and hundreds of thousands of those. And just to give you an idea of the scale potential, if it would be possible to capture 10% of agricultural wastes, you would produce enough torrefied briquettes. They sell, the going price is $265 a ton, to earn a gross income of $55 billion a year, not counting carbon credits. If that were possible, it would be a company that would be about number 60 on the Fortune 500 list, somewhere between Pepsi-Cola and Dow Chemical. I have no idea whether this will work or not, but that's what we're working on. So, going back a step, I'm very proud of what IDE has accomplished and what it's accomplishing. Over the next 10 or 20 years, I hope it will continue to help, as Al put it, that would amount to $30 million a day small farmers move out of poverty. I plan to devote the rest of my life to helping create these 4 global companies in partnership with some multinationals who, I'm surprised to say, are very interested this type of thing. So I invite all of you to come join us in this process, and thank you very much for this award. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
I want to standing ovation for what they call loving human beings. Please give a round of applause for all of these contracting people. This is the guy that I want to be like. And on behalf of all of the people here, I can only tell Paul Polak and Aggie, I can only extend the memories, the accomplishments, and the love that you've extended to so many people so that we can follow you. So now it's time for you to go to your seat. All right, go. You know, we're sitting here tonight, and in conclusion, this is the epitome of leadership, mentorship, entrepreneurialism. You gotta love them, baby. This is about love. This is about venturism. This is about taking risk. And you know what? Every one of you in this room are mentors. Every one of you in this room is a leader. And believe it or not, your touch to youth and to the people around us bring tremendous success. I look at RedLine, and I look at the efforts of everyone involved in RedLine, and they took this seed and they planted it. Paulie, you've done that across the world, and I commend you. On behalf of Paul, his beautiful wife, RedLine, IDE, love you, take care, thank you very much.